It's a quiet morning, 2009. We're in Abu Mana, a small village in Egypt's Kina Governorate. You got these peaceful agricultural fields, the Zira,
But that piece is just shattered. Locals stumble upon the body of a young man.
and the scene is, well, it's horrific. He's drenched in blood, fully clothed.
But the really shocking part, his face, it's been deliberately, meticulously mutilated.
Yeah.
Just erased.
Yeah, completely disfigured, making identification impossible right off the bat. This wasn't just murder. It felt like someone wanted to obliterate his very existence.
The police, criminal investigation teams, they all arrive. Initial look confirms, okay, male, probably in his 20s, no ID.
And multiple stab wounds, a lot of them concentrated in the chest and back. It screams personal hatred,
Right.
not some random act.
The crime scene itself is huge, this massive field. And amidst all the chaos, the blood, they find just one thing, about 40 meters away from the body.
One single object.
A slipper, a rubber slipper, brand new, size 47.
Size 47, yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
So let's just pause here. We've got this incredibly violent personal attack. The killer goes to extreme lengths to hide the victim's identity.
Yeah.
And yet, this one item, this oki, this slipper, is left behind. How does that become the key? The thing that unravels this whole brutal story?
It's really where the brilliance of the investigation starts. The case goes straight to forensic medicine for a deep dive, literally. They start piecing together the narrative just from the body and the scene. First thing, time of death.
Okay.
The report confirms it happened less than 10 hours before the body was found, so a relatively tight window.
Right. And the wounds, you said there were many.
Many is an understatement. They cataloged 27 separate stab wounds.
27.
Yeah. Concentrated, as you said, chest and back.
Mhm.
That sheer number, that overkill, it tells you immediately this wasn't quick, it wasn't opportunistic.
Driven by intense emotion,
Right.
rage.
Exactly. Extreme personal motivation. But then comes a really crucial forensic finding about where it happened.
All right. Was he killed there or moved?
The evidence was definitive. The death occurred right there at the scene where he was found. It wasn't a body dump.
Okay, so that changes things. It means he was brought there somehow.
Precisely. It strongly suggested he was lured. The term is istidraj, enticed to that specific isolated spot, which implies
He knew his attackers,
Wait.
walked right into it.
it certainly looks that way, and he didn't go down without a fight. Not at all.
Defense wounds.
Lots of them. Numerous cuts, wounds on his hands, his legs. Random, desperate. Classic signs of a long, hard struggle for survival.
Just horrific.
But here's perhaps the most chilling detail from the forensic report. It's really disturbing here.
Okay.
They determined that the facial disfigurement, the attempt to erase his identity, that happened before he died.
Before. So, torture.
Yes, it elevates the crime beyond murder. This was prolonged torture, a deliberate act confirming a motive rooted deep in personal revenge, carried out slowly.
Wow. Okay, so the forensics are painting this incredibly detailed, terrifying picture. Planned torture, deep hatred, a desperate struggle. Two attackers, maybe?
Well, that's the next piece. Even before they had an ID, the forensic team noticed something about the wounds themselves.
What was that?
Variations. The shapes, the sizes of the stab wounds differed slightly. Even though the type of knife seemed consistent, the details suggested two different blades were used.
Two knives.
Yeah.
Meaning two attackers.
Exactly. And that lined up perfectly with what the crime scene unit found on the ground.
Footprints. Multiple sets of footprints that didn't belong to the victim. So the physical evidence corroborated it. Two killers. The whole scenario luring, two attackers, revenge, torture. It was becoming incredibly clear, maybe 90% accurate just from the forensics. Incredible. But they still didn't know who he was. How did they get from the body in the scene to an actual name?
That brings us back to the slipper, that single size 47 rubber slipper.
The only real clue.
Right. The police confirmed it fit the victim's foot, so it was his, or at least he was wearing it or carrying it. The focus then shifts entirely.
From the body to the shoe stores.
Pretty much. Detectives started this painstaking process, contacting every single shoe seller in the nearby district, Nag Hammadi.
Asking about a size 47 slipper. Must have stood out.
It did. And they got lucky. A vendor recognized the specific type, remembered selling a pair recently.
And knew the buyer.
Yes. He identified the purchaser as a man named Antar, a resident of Abu Mana, the same village.
Antar. Okay, the first concrete lead.
The first name. So police go to Antar's home. They speak to his brother.
What did the brother say?
He confirmed Antar had left the house the evening before. Said he was going to visit his fiancée. Apparently, her father, who worked abroad in the Gulf, had just returned unexpectedly early.
Okay, that sounds Plausible. Was the brother worried?
Not particularly. He mentioned Antar often stayed out late with friends, so his absence overnight wasn't immediately alarming.
But the police now have a name, Antar. And they have the body.
Right, so they take fingerprints from the victim. Despite the mutilation, they could still get prints and run them against national records.
And it's a match.
It's a match. The tortured young man is confirmed as Antar. So the investigation immediately zeroes in on the last place he was reportedly heading.
His fiancée's house. The family whose father just got back from the Gulf.
Exactly. Police go to question the fiancé's family.
And what's their story?
Total denial. They express shock, sadness, they praise Antar, say the relationship was great, everything was fine. And crucially, they insist adamantly that he never showed up at their house the previous night. Never arrived.
A solid wall. An alibi, essentially.
Seems like it. But this is where good old-fashioned police work comes in. Checking with neighbors, people in the area.
Witnesses?
Witnesses, and their accounts completely blow the family's story apart.
How so? Multiple witnesses confirm.
Yeah.
Yes, Antar did arrive at the fiancé's home around 5:00 p.m., just as the brother had initially suggested. Okay, so the family lied about him not showing up. Big lie. But it gets worse. Other witnesses saw Antar leaving the house again around 8 p.m. Okay.
But he wasn't alone. He was seen leaving in the company of the fiancé's brother.
The brother. The one whose family said Antar never even came over.
The very same. The timeline is now contradictory, and the family's denial looks like a coordinated cover-up.
So the police move in.
They bring in the father, the one just back from the Gulf, Antar's potential father-in-law, and they bring in the brother for questioning.
And under pressure.
The father breaks almost immediately, but he tries to protect his son. He confesses, says he was the killer, claims the son was just there, helping him out.
Taking the fall or trying to?
Trying to minimize his son's role, but the dam had burst. The real motive, the dark story behind the rage, starts pouring out.
And it wasn't just about wedding plans, clearly.
Not even close. This goes back to why the father returned early from the Gulf in the first place.
Right, the brother mentioned that. Unexpectedly early.
It wasn't unexpected for the father. He had received a strange call while he was still abroad, from a trusted neighbor back home.
What kind of call?
The neighbor was hinting, delicately maybe, that Antar had been seen visiting the father's house. At odd times. Suspicious times.
When the father wasn't there.
And crucially, when the fiancé and the brother also weren't there, implying Antar was visiting the mother, the father's wife.
Oh, boy.
The father's mind immediately goes there. He calls his daughter, the fiancé, from abroad, tries to ask her about it.
How did she react?
She initially dodged the subject, scared probably, but eventually, under pressure from her father, she admits her own terrible fear.
Which was?
She believed Antar was having an affair with her mother.
Wow. So the father hears this.
He gets on the first flight back, returns home immediately, confronts his wife.
She must have denied it.
At first, yes, vehemently denied everything, but the father kept pushing, and finally, she breaks down, reveals the actual horrifying truth.
Which was even worse than an affair.
Much worse. She confessed that Antar had initially come to the house when she was alone, and he hadn't seduced her. He had forcibly assaulted her, raped her.
Oh, my God.
And after that initial assault, he used the threat of exposing her, the threat of scandal, public shame, basically blackmail, to force her into an ongoing abusive relationship.
For how long?
For 8 months.
Yeah.
He timed his visits precisely for when the children, the fiancé, and the brother were out of the house.
So the father learns his daughter's fiancé assaulted his wife and then blackmailed her for months.
The humiliation, the betrayal, the rage, it's unimaginable. He felt his family's honor was destroyed, and in that moment, with that revelation, he decided on murder. This wasn't going to be reported. This was going to be revenge.
A calculated plan forms.
Absolutely calculated. He sets a trap. He contacts Antar himself.
Under what pretext?
Says he wants to discuss the wedding arrangements now that he's back. Invites him over to the house.
And Antar goes. Does he suspect anything?
He goes. Maybe sense some tension. Who knows?
Huh?
But clearly, he had no idea the depth of the fury he'd unleashed or what was waiting for him.
So he arrives at the house.
The father speaks with him briefly, keeps up the pretense, then excuses himself. That's the signal.
For the brother to step in.
Right. The brother approaches Antar, asks him to come with him on some made-up errand, just need to pop out for something.
And leads him away from the house.
Leads him directly out towards those agricultural fields. The Ziret, where we began this whole story.
Walking him right into it.
Literally walking him to his death. Out in the fields, Antar finds the father waiting. knife already in hand.
And the brother.
As the father attacks, the brother pulls out a second knife, hidden under his clothes, just as the forensics indicated.
2 attackers, 2 knives.
And then the torture began. It lasted, according to the confessions which matched the forensics, for about 2 hours. A slow, agonizing death.
Confirming everything the forensic report suggested about the prolonged suffering, the pre-mortem mutilation.
Exactly. They inflicted those 27 stab wounds. They carried out the facial disfigurement while he was still alive. An act of ultimate vengeance.
And after he was finally dead.
Their focus shifted to the cover-up. They took all his official papers, his ID, anything that could identify him. They completed the facial mutilation, trying to ensure the body would remain anonymous if found.
Then just left him there.
Left him in the field, covered in blood, and walked away, believing they'd committed the perfect, untraceable revenge killing.
But they forgot one thing.
They forgot the slipper, the brand new size 47 slipper 40 meters away, the single thread that unraveled everything.
So the confessions confirmed the entire forensic picture.
Yeah.
Father and son arrested.
Apprehended, confessed, and subsequently both were sentenced to death for the murder.
It really brings up a stark point, though. The motive, stemming from such a horrific violation against their family. Yet the outcome is the ultimate penalty for them. It's a powerful illustration of how the legal system functions, isn't it? The case highlights the incredible accuracy of the investigation. Think about it. The police and forensics built a 90% accurate scenario. The luring, the 2 killers, the revenge motive, the torture based only on the physical evidence, the flipper, the wounds, the defense marks. They practically knew the whole story before the confessions.
Almost entirely. But the sentencing wasn't about why they killed Antar. Even acknowledging the terrible things Antar did, the law doesn't permit vigilantism. They were sentenced for taking the law into their own hands, for carrying out a brutal revenge killing. It underscores that society has to operate under the rule of law, not individual acts of vengeance, no matter how strong the perceived justification.
It's a chilling reminder of forensic precision. They knew it was torture, knew there were 2 killers, knew the motive was intense personal hatred, all deduced from a mutilated body and one forgotten shoe. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What if they had remembered that slipper? What if they disposed of that one seemingly mundane piece of evidence? How often does justice hinge entirely on a single mistake, overlooked in a moment of extreme calculated rage? Something to think about.